Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic medium. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of where my spirit guides become political pundits and I answer your political questions through them. So today we're going to be talking about some pretty hard questions. I think you guys have been studying up for the exam or something because you guys really put your thinking caps on and came up with some pretty what I consider to be some profound political questions. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a wild ride today, I think. I just heard them say Putin is playing a fool's game. They just said to me, Putin is playing a fool's game. Again, everything is about money, you guys. It's not really about ego anymore in this earth, on this world that we live. It's about money. And there are certain moneyed interests, in this case, the oligarchs in Russia, that they like the idea of having control of Ukraine because Ukraine is very resource rich, they're telling me, but they don't want it at the expense of more sanctions on Russia. Which is interesting because Biden last just said that he would sanction Putin. Putin himself. Take Putin's money. And not sanction Russia. Isn't that interesting? Doesn't that sound like the oligarchs are making a deal on the back door with Biden? Right? Don't come after us. Go after him. He's the problem. So I think Putin is on his way out. And honestly, many other psychics have seen this. A lot of us have seen him being sick. But to be honest with you, I've seen Mitch McConnell being sick. And when Trump got COVID, I knew that he was very, very sick. And I mean like deathbed sick. And I don't know what they have on that level of dark side leadership. They have some access to something that makes people live when they shouldn't live. That I'm telling you isn't even available to Biden. It's dark side. It's dark side. So did I just answer your question? I don't know what I just said. I don't know how much longer. If he invades Ukraine, which I don't see him doing, I see him doing like, he's so irritating, a skirmish, like where an incursion is what they just said, where he goes across the border and does something and then comes back. Oh, did we go across the border? We couldn't see where the border was. That kind of just BS, just so irritating, truly. Oh, never mind. I'm going to say that. Anyway, I don't know if anybody's asking about the shrimp boats, but I will tell you the shrimp boats, because down here in the Gulf, everything is shrimp boats. For them, they're prawns. The fishing boats in Ireland that are going out to meet the Russian Navy. Linda G is absolutely right. She said that there's underground cables that connect Europe to various sort of power and telecommunications, and they run under the ocean there. And Russia is going to cut the cables. If they can cut the cables to the telecommunications to Ukraine and a lot of Europe, then Ukraine the citizens can't communicate with each other. Boom, game over. They don't know where to go. They don't know where the bomb shelter is. They don't know where this is. If nothing else, just doing that would cause panic. And what else? Division. Right? So that's what he's trying to do here. He doesn't want to bring those troops in. He knows he'll have a war on his hands. And because this is Europe, I don't think a lot of those European countries are going to stand by and let this happen. Okay, so I don't think that's going to happen, except for maybe an incursion. Oopsie, I flew over your space. Oopsie, my troops went into Ukraine. I just would be the worst general because I would just literally put them in the bullseye and fire. Sorry. Okay. So, whoo. Okay, let's see if we can just move on from that. All right. I know this is getting really long, you guys. Let's see. Patty D says, As a blue dot in a red sea, honey, you can't be more of a blue dot in a red sea than where I'm at. Could you see if GOP Brian Mast will be voted out this year and replaced by Democrat Corinna Balderramos Robinson? The sigh of defeat again. It doesn't look good, Patty. Right now, it does not look good. They're telling me he will win. I am so sorry. I wish I could tell you something else. I mean, I could just get on here and tell you guys what you all want to hear, but that I wouldn't be working with spirit, and I want to honor what they tell me. And again, with my sessions, if I have to give you bad news, I try to give you some steps that you may mitigate it or sidestep it or something, and like I did earlier with Cindy, with her governor. It might be contested, the vote. I just don't think she has enough. I just don't see her having quite enough oomph, enough whatever, support, power, something. She just can't quite get up high enough. I like her. I like her energy. I don't think she's going to go away. And I do think that Brian Mast has problems. And I think he has problems now. And I think those problems are going to become more known, more publicized after he wins. And then there may be a chance for a runoff, or maybe the vote will incur a runoff. It seems like something happens after the election. That might be a nail biter, Patty. But don't give up, please. Don't give up. I feel like you're working hard. I feel your heart. I can feel your heart and soul. You're really pushing, okay? I don't want you to get deflated. I don't want you to feel like, okay, because it does matter, okay? Working for these candidates matter, whether they win or not. We're sending a message. We're sending a message, okay? Our vote always matters, whether we win or not. Working for these candidates always matter whether they win or not, because she's getting name recognition. Okay, this woman is going to go for. She's going to do some things. Is she an attorney? Is she an attorney? I feel like there's law. I feel like there's or DA or I don't know. I'm feeling like, or maybe her father was an attorney. There seems to be some attorney energy around her. Anyway, keep doing what you're doing. The energy's early. Anything can happen, okay? Anything can happen. If it's going to be a nail biter, then it means we need to work even harder, right? Linda Aragon says 45 absolutely should not have freedom for over a year now. Will charges be made so it's never happened again? It's infuriating. I know, Linda. Hopefully you heard what I just said about why they are doing what they're doing. They're trying to snuff out, they just said, these little smoldering groups of insurgents. This is exactly what they told me, and now I'm getting chills. They're trying to snuff them out. And once they do, and they feel like it's a little bit safer, then the DOJ is going to take the lead. Right now, they're letting Jan 6 take the lead, okay? And I answered, Meg, your question. I jumped ahead, I guess, and I answered your question about the Irish fisherman. Watch that space. Something could very well happen. I don't think, I do think that Russia will make some kind of move what am I trying to say? Russia will do something in those waters that they would not do on the land. There seems to be a little bit of a dispute about who owns the water. I know Ireland thinks they own the water, and they probably do, but I also know that with Brexit, the deal when they separated everything, some of that water was given to another country for fishery. And so again, what is Russia and Bannon and Barr and Mueller and all those, what do? They find the loophole or even a perceived loophole, and then they tear it open. And that's what Russia's doing here. Well, whose water is it? Well, you don't know. It's a perceived loophole. I really, truly think that water is protected. I now see Australian Navy boats, British. It would take a lot for Britain to get involved. For some reason, Australia seems to be itching for a fight. At least their Navy does. Potentially, Biden's itching for a fight. Okay, let's roll our sleeves up. Let's do this. All right. I think you're going to see the high stakes. They want to say high stakes gamesmanship on the high seas. I think it's going to be a lot more. I think we're going to be riveted to the TV. No one's going to let those Irish fishermen out there by themselves, although they would. They have no compunction about doing this. They really don't. So it's going to be quite interesting. Thank you, Meg, for the question. Auntie D says, hi, Susan. Yes, Kim on Intuitive View, love her channel. Guides told her the new Supreme Court Justice is someone we all know, and they want to keep it as a surprise. Her mind went to MLK's daughter, Bernice. I went to Michelle Obama. I would love to see Hillary Clinton. I mean, at this point, it's just, I just want revenge. I really do. Okay, I got to get out of here again. All right, so, okay, let me go back and get the guides on this here. Okay. I got to separate your question. Because it's when you ask your spirit guides either a very open-ended question or a two-part question, you're asking for it. It's just not going to be very clear. So you really need to keep everything very succinct, very straightforward. So really what she says is a new Supreme Court Justice is someone we will know. Well, honestly, we do know. We do know the 3 or 4 people women that they're thinking of. And I liked Ketanji was who I really feel like there's a lot of energy around, but there's currently a push for the other Supreme Court Justice to be a woman named Michelle, and I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name. She is from South Carolina, and I'm just feeling a lot of push for Ketanji. So the question is MLK's daughter, Bernice. I don't see that because Biden, again, is an institutionalist. He's not a stick in the eye kind of person like I would be. Honestly, he's a across the aisle kind of guy. The most, I don't see Bernice. I don't see that the same way I don't see Michelle and I don't see Hillary. I don't see Bernice. I don't think that Bernice wants that kind of pressure. But I do hear Bernice talking about there must be another generation. Either Bernice's kids, Bernice wants a descendant of MLK on the Supreme Court. Okay, more than anything. And I think, Auntie, that's why your energy went there, because Bernice wants this. Her energy wants this, but I don't think it's for her. I think it's for an up and coming young person. Young, it could be a 30-year-old or it could be a 25-year-old or it could be a 40-year-old. I don't know. But it's somebody in that generation that will have to be appointed to the court in 5 more years. Okay, so they do want to keep it a surprise. It is somebody we know. We know all of these. We know all of these people. They're very well vetted judges. They're extremely well positioned to be a Supreme Court justice. So Hurricane Force 1 says, Sherilyn Ifill piped in my head a couple of weeks ago. She's on Biden's long list for the Supreme Court. Yeah, no, I don't. But she's going to be she's going to be in the news as a judge, a federal judge. Ifill. She's going to be in the news. That's all I know. She's going to be in the news in a good way. In a good way. Maybe she's already been in the news. I don't know. Starfish Jeannie said, would you tell everybody to keep their vibration high and not to worry, please? Worry brings the vibration of all humanity down, and we as light workers are here to raise everyone's vibration and Mother Earth's vibration too. I agree. But the reason I do these things is because forewarned is forearmed. If I tell you that we may lose this election and win that election, in my opinion, forewarned is forearmed, and we can prepare ourselves, okay? But I agree. She's absolutely right. You need to, what my guides were saying yesterday is they were talking to me and saying, what are we feeding our brain? What are we feeding our consciousness? As you go through your day, how much does your consciousness consume of negativity? How much does your consciousness consume of worry? How much does your consciousness consume of joy? How much does your consciousness consume of laughter? How much does your consciousness consume of love? Okay? They want us to think about that, right? What are the percentages? You know, if 65% of what you intake is politics and worry, that's not good. Balance. Okay, so we need to balance. As a matter of fact, they would suggest that it would be 30% of worrying about things that you can't change, like politics, that kind of thing. And then when you have that 30%, add 20% of action. So don't just worry about it. Say, oh, I'm concerned about this race. Let me send $10, right? Let me make some phone calls. Let me say a prayer. Take action. Action is the inoculation for worry, okay? So balance it. So we do our 30% and we do our 20% action, and then we add the rest of laughter, joy, love, okay? So what's the percentages of that's coming into your brain? I'm going to do just a few more. Buffy, I already answered Dejoy, but thank you for your question. Jen T says, will Biden have an opportunity for a second Supreme Court in 2022 or just this one presently? And yes, he will have another Supreme Court choice in 2022. I wish it were 3. That's what I thought, but I think it's just going to be 2, and we'll take 2 to the bank and deposit them. Susie Lewis says, what is the possible way to get Mitch McConnell and Ted Cruz out of the Senate? I know. Look, they're not going to go on forever. We've had actors sort of like Mitch McConnell. We had Tip O'Neill. I always want to remember this guy in Texas. His name was Steve Stockman, and he was just like Mitch McConnell. He thought that he could do anything. He thought he could block anything. He really, truly thought that he was above the law. He thought that he had all the power in the world, and he went to prison. Okay, so listen, there are precedents for this, okay? He's not going to be around forever. They also show me Tip O'Neill. Remember Tip O'Neill, another pain in our backside, right? So Mitch McConnell's worse than pretty much all of them, but he isn't going to be around forever. He is going to go. I thought he would have gone December of last year. I'm hearing he's going to go this year. He can't last forever. He just can't. He's going to go this year. Ted Cruz. For Christ's sakes. These questions have just irritated the Susan part of me to no end because I understand your pain. Ted Cruz, when is he going to be out of the Senate? I heard soon. That's good. That's encouraging. Soon. Why? Family. What's going on with this family? What's going on with this family? Fall apart. Family fall apart. Somebody falls apart. Right. Exposed. I'm hearing the word exposed. Interest, business interest. Either energy. I don't know if it's oil or electric or wind or solar. I don't know. Something about energy. Sensor. So we have to get through the midterms, which I don't know if there's a question here that asks this, but we're going to pick up seats in the House. We're going to pick up seats in the Senate. We really are, because what is that? Hell hath no fury like a what? Hell hath no fury. I don't know. I said that because I heard that while I was seeing these court cases. These I just heard defamation lawsuit. A lot of people are going to be going down once the DOJ starts dropping the hammer. It's going to be shock and awe. It's going to be shock and awe. So, will Ted Cruz go out before his Senate, before his time is up? Possibly. See, the problem is these days with the Republicans is you can get them on all kinds of things. For instance, Texas's Attorney General has 5 federal indictments against him. 5 federal indictments for really bad things and having to do with money. And he's still running for AG. He's still running for AG like nothing's going on. And the reason he's not in front of a court is because he knows how to stall, a la Trump. So when I go into Cruz, it's like, it doesn't matter if they do something embarrassing or wrong. They just keep running because their base doesn't care if they're crooks. Hi, Kaya Noel. I am good to see you here. Thank you. Okay, so she says, if my spirit team sees Kamala Harris and Stacey Abrams as POTUS and V-POTUS after the administration, after the Biden administration, yes, I have seen Kamala Harris as president since the first time I saw her on TV when she was announced as the VP pick. When I saw her on TV for the first time as being announced as VP pick, they told me president. So she will be president. I feel very strongly that she will be president. The energy suggests that she will be president. I don't know if Stacey Abrams is going to be her V-POTUS. I think that there's a man. There's a man that's her VP. But I love Stacey Abrams. I want Stacey Abrams to be the president forever. I know. That's a little bit crazy. Let's just go one or two more. Melissa says, will there be new ethics rules with teeth for the Supreme Court after the ethical acts of this court, like Thomas and Barrett not recusing themselves and Jenny giving Trump a hit list and financing Jan 6? Yes, this is what we were talking about earlier. America has a lot of work to do. There are so many customs and traditions that are not laws, and we have to address that. That's a problem because Biden doesn't want to address that per se. He feels like we need to get back to this working across the aisle and trusting each other and honoring traditions and honoring customs. I think those days are over. I think that the Democrats need to do everything that the Republicans do, and therefore it's sort of an arms race. But what will happen is when the Republicans have their own shenanigans thrown back at them, they will very quickly sit down with the Democrats and craft some laws and rules that really govern everything. So when they've been faced with their own tricks and ploys, will they want to sit down and fix those things. So we as Democrats need to just play dirty as they are, sadly. But that's what the guides tell me. That's the only way we're going to get through this. Wayne says, are we ever going to get a chance to see the unredacted Mueller report and hear about all that Robert Mueller really found out? No. The answer is no. No, we're not going to see the whole unredacted. We're not going to see the whole unredacted report, maybe in 20 years. You guys have such good questions. I could go on forever. Okay, Cat01 says, do I see Doug Jones of Alabama getting a senator seat back in Alabama or working in the Biden administration? He's a decent man. Don't want to see his talent go to waste. I think Doug Jones is a career guy. I think that his heart is in the right place. And I don't think he's going to stop working. I think he reminds me of Beto O'Rourke in Texas. This just seems to be what he's made for. He is his soul. This is his soul path, and injustice is what powers him. That's his fuel. When he sees injustice, he gets energized, and that energizes him to continue. I don't think he's going to go to waste or stop ever being involved in politics. Right now, he's an outside agitator, which is good. We need that. We need people that can hold people in office accountable and have the experience of having been in office to understand what they should do and what they shouldn't do. In other words, I can see Doug Jones educating the people of Alabama about, hey, this isn't right. This is not, historically, this has never been done, or this isn't right. I see him being an educator, speaking out. He just seems to be educating. He seems to be leading a group, leading a groundswell of people. I think he will run again. He is involved in the Democratic, Democratic committee. Don't count him out. He's coming back. Maybe not right away. Okay, I'm sorry to say. Alabama's going through some things. Okay, so are the rest of us, apparently, in the South especially. It's like a war down here. To be honest with you, it's like a war. It's like a war on human rights. It's a war on books. It's a war on women's rights. It's a war on minorities. It's a war on voting. We are having the second civil war down here, just in a much different way. But we're going to win. We're going to win because what I said in the very beginning, we're going to get out in the streets and we're not going to take it. We're going to stand up. We're going to wake up. We're going to wake up, which is different than woke. Okay, so I think I'm going to do two more. I keep saying this, I swear, because I have other things to do this morning. And this video, I may have to even break it up into two and just do part one and part two. Okay, so Matt Gates. With all the info, sorry, this is Tina Pruitt's question, Matt Gates. With all the info surfacing on sex, underage girls, drugs, and rock and roll, which used to, drugs and rock and roll anyway. Anyway, with this guy, will we ever find out the real story behind his son? Yeah, there's something weird with his son, guys. I don't know if I really want to talk about it on YouTube. Let me say this. I'll put it this way, and I'm just going to leave it at this. First of all, this is for entertainment purposes only, just like Fox News, only better, only more truthful. Matt Gaetz is an equal opportunity. What do they call that now? Pansexual? I don't know. Let's call it bi. Okay, let's just call Matt Gaetz might be allegedly by some reports bi. He might be bi. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Okay, you can put the rest of the dots together. But I'm telling you what I've heard, what I know, or I'll ask. Yes, the answer is yes. He's bi. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Oh my God. Also, it's a tax thing. He's single, he has no kids, so by adopting this guy, he gets to be head of the household and write it off, and he gets the money. He gets a lot of money as a parent. I'm not a parent, but this is what they're telling me. You get a lot more money if you're a household withholding one or something. Does that make any sense to you guys? I just don't want to think about it. I can't think about it. Sorry. Okay. Anna Banana says, will the Supreme Court appointment negatively impact the abortion case set to be ruled in June? You have like 5 questions in here, girlfriend. Yes. Yes. Will the Supreme Court appointment negatively impact? No, it's not going to negatively impact it. Listen, I don't see, let me ask again for clarification. I have to word it just right. Will the Supreme Court strike down Roe v. Wade? Will the Supreme Court strike down Roe v. Wade? Okay, once again, something I don't want to tell you. I hear the words yes, but I have to also tell you that it's not going to stick, okay? The Supreme Court is getting ready to hear, so like for instance, the affirmative action. They're getting ready to hear so many cases that have been settled law, meaning settled. We're not going to try it anymore. The population, the majority of Americans agree with this law. It's settled. There's no reason for the Supreme Court to hear it again. But here we are, living in this crazy land and time that we are. I think they may strike it down. But we're going to go back. We're basically, what they're showing me is disintegrating. Okay, we're disintegrating a lot of our customs, our laws. We're disintegrating our values, our civil rights. But at the same time, we're also going to be disintegrating Western medicine. We're going to be disintegrating good things and bad things. And then Americans get to decide what they want to keep and what they want to do. Go back to the beginning when they talked about Americans have to get in the streets. Americans have to be heard. We cannot be asleep anymore. When they get rid of enough things that we care about, we're going to go out of our houses and put our mask on and get our vaccinations, and we're going to get busy. It's not enough. We're not doing enough. We cannot count on the DOJ. We cannot count on Biden. We cannot count on our senators, our representatives, our mayors, our school boards. Because even though Biden is doing everything he can't do it all. Okay? And meanwhile, our school boards are banning Catcher in the Rye and every other thing from books, right? And making it illegal to talk about slavery in the schools. I mean, what in the hell is going on? We can sit in our houses and watch TV or watch me on YouTube, but we really need to get out and do something. And we are, believe me, the guides keep saying, when you guys hit bottom, what is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? What is it? What's it going to be? Who knows? I don't know. I just don't know. It's something that has to bring us out of our comfort zone enough that we'll actually go out and do something. And then I know that's rough and harsh, but that's what they're telling me. Okay, one more. ESL says, do you see the current Democratic governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, getting elected to the second term? Right now I hear a yes. Right now I hear a yes. He's strong. JB Yes, he's strong. He's very strong. He's got a lot of power. He's got a lot of energy. He feels like he can do it. His energy feels like he can do it, number one. And number two, my spirit guides are saying yes. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sorry if I didn't get to answer all of your questions. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you found it informative. I hope you found it entertaining, possibly. I want to tell you that I just really appreciate you so much. So I'm going to be doing these things where I answer, or I say I, but you understand that it's not me, it's my spirit guides, the political pundit spirit guides, no less. I'm going to be doing videos where I answer your questions, and then I'm also starting a weekly show that right now is going to be on Monday nights, but it may change. But I will go live in that weekly show. So you'll actually have an opportunity. Some people don't like the live videos, and some people prefer this format, but you'll get both formats, and I will try to do both weekly so that you can count on that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I always enjoy your comments, so please drop them in the space below. I often answer them, as many as I can, so I do enjoy doing that. And listen, if you like this content, if you found this interesting or informative or helpful, please do me a favor and subscribe. That way you'll get a notification if you hit the little bell button when I have a new video. If you don't do that, you may not know when a new one's out. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You guys all take care. I'll see you again right here on this channel. Blessings, everyone. For entertainment purposes only.